The first property I bought was on Miami Beach.
Walk me through it.
So it's an 8-unit property in the North Beach area of Miami Beach, which is 70 something. And I found that property just because I was letting everybody know what I wanted to do, and I was at a conference and a broker mentioned, I have this opportunity. I went and I saw it and I put it under contract.
And it was being marketed. It was on
it was being marketed, but it was new to the market. And it was great.
When was this? What year?
So I started my company in 2019.
Okay.
And this was in 2020.
Okay. So had COVID come yet or no?
We were in COVID-ish. So COVID was happening.
So 2019, you're like, I'm going to start this company, Falconi Capital, and I'm going to invest in multifamily. And I'm going to run the deal, and I'm going to syndicate. Were you at first going to syndicate?
No,
or were you gonna
that one I bought on my own. And I wasn't...
No partners at all?
No partners. So
Solo. A lot of risk.
A lot, yeah. No risk, no reward.
Yeah.
So a lot of risk, but I was willing to put it out there because I knew that it was something that
But did you
I
do
could
it
turn
by
around.
yourself because you wanted to make whatever mistakes you were going to make up front and it was your own money? Was that ever in your head?
No, that wasn't in my head. That wasn't in my head. It wasn't. It was because the opportunity was there and I could do it. And I wasn't thinking at that time about syndicating. I was figuring out how I could do this on my own, not thinking syndication was an option.
So did you just go the conventional way? You underwrote the deal yourself?
Yeah, I underwrote the deal myself.
Well, so 8 units at how much per unit?
8 units.
You remember.
It was about $150 a unit.
Okay.
They're selling now for $230, $240. And so now what we're talking about. We've got the appreciation. That's there. I'm a long-term holder, so I'm not selling, but the appreciation is there. And the cash flow is there.
So you buy at $150
well.
per unit. It was already. Did it need any? You went and looked at it. Did it need any renovations?
It was in decent shape. But I typically, one of the things that I do with the properties is I do windows and doors, change them to windstorm or for the hurricanes right away. There's 2 schools of thought on that. It is a big expense. But there's something to be said about the safety of the tenants that are there. And as a landlord, not having to worry about finding whatever it is you need to find to cover these windows and be competing with everyone else in that regard. I feel that it's nice and safe and easy to deal with. And it brings value to the property. 1, they look much nicer. Yeah. And 2, it just increases the value of the property.
I agree.
So that's what we did.
Did you buy that on a per unit or because North Miami Beach 8 units, the cap rate what they were offering was probably super low.
When you say per unit,
well, you can either say, I'm going to buy this because 150,000 looks good, or because if they go, this is a 3 because you 2019, 2020, Miami Beach, North Beach, they could be hitting you with, this is a 3.5 cap rate because the rents are all too low and you got this potential to increase the rents and this is going to be a 5.5 cap rate, which it sounds.
It depends. So it depends. So when I look at properties, and that's a question I get a lot. Well, wow, that's expensive. I said, well, maybe. What does it look like when you do the underwriting? Because maybe it was poorly managed. So the question is, if it's poorly managed and either because you have experience or because you really know the market well, because you know what's happening around the building that you're at, and you know that within 90 days you can start increasing rents, then you have to decide for yourself what risk are you willing to take. If the owner's not going to come down on price based on the rents that he's charging, where are you going to be? Sometimes there are landlords that are charging very, very low rents because they have no mortgages, and so they set it and forget it, and they're cash flowing.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at your numbers, and you've got to decide the risk that you're willing to take, and you need to decide if you can actually make that happen. Can you make whatever your performer looks like happen? So then maybe you're buying at a 3 or a 4 or whatever that is, but then you turn it into a 7 at the end of 12 months. That was a good, nice situation.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.